This is the next big pot.
Judge Emini scores a contest 112-115. Judge Paul Thomas 112-115. Judge Donald Trevor 113-115. The winner. 113. And the new. Super featherweight champion of the world. From Cambridge in Scotland. Terence. Victory comes from Ricky Burns. A massive upset. A huge shot in the arm.
I laid out the blueprint. Yes, they gave him the position. They gave him the fight. He beat me, but the blueprint is right there. Just look at it. I took it out of the vault and I handed it over to Canelo Alvarez.
Let's be honest, Harrison's the biggest ball inside boxing. After your reaction to David Price after Robbie calling me out like a junior, I'll fight David Price any day of the week. You see, you come from other belt. That's what between me and you. I don't want to get you some serious that. It's in your head, alright. Thanks, lesson.
Well, brilliant, like I say, for the centre of South Coast Community Centre. Amir Khan gets the big fight with Pacquiao and the world champions, the lads that are coming through. It'll be a fantastic. I'd equate this to the Kronk in America way back in the time.
You know what? Fuck Joe Gallagher. Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher.
Fuck Joe Gallagher. I got him in a cage right there. Out of cage.
The plan is to have Algieri knock Pacquiao out.
Yes, but I still got him in a cage. He listens to me very well. I'm gonna let him listen.
Round 10?
Round 10 or 11. I'm gonna let him go.
Now I only have one other thing to do, and that's to fight Thomas Hearns. And I'm planning on breaking every bone in his body.
But what works is they're going to go and chase Leo Santa Cruz. I told them, and I told them on Wednesday, you're not going to get Santa Cruz. Like I told them, you're not going to get Martinez.
Now, coming to you live, the next big pod!
Welcome back to the next big pod. We've got a full panel tonight. Basically, we've got like Dewey for Wales Boxing. He's going to be jumping on shortly, if he's not on already. We've got Mark McFarlane for IRA Boxing. We've got Sam Carp, he's for Livestock Boxing. We've got Shep, everybody's fucking friend. There ain't no Black in the Union Jack Boxing. We've got Cal, Class A Boxing. Alex is going to jump on shortly to do his list. He's illegal boxing. We've got Press Pass, Bedford Lanky Bastard Boxing, and me, your host, Brian King, Nonce Boxing. Right, guys, I thought we'd just introduce everything separately tonight because I feel as if because we've got a load on the panel. So before we get started, everybody that's listening to this, you want to like and share the YouTube video so we can get bigger than the asylum and just take over it and just blow it up. Because it's a pile of shite there. Oh, fucking Andy P will be raging at that, won't he? Fucking always mention us every week, no? Aye, ram it. Go to iTunes, review, 5 stars, leave a shitty review, but just do that. It makes us bigger, then we can take over the world. I can take over Coogan Cassie's, and then we can actually start getting some decent interviews.
And give the Benson's Facebook page a like as well.
You're spastic, you're like he's spastic. Anyway, right. The weekend, Terence Crawford, Viktor Postol. I know Shep's going to be a bit of a hipster when it comes to this fight because he made some opinions on it the weekend. I thought it was a good fight. I think everybody, not everybody, like, some well, it was 50-50 on this panel who picked like Crawford and who picked Postol to win, I think. But me personally, I didn't give Postol one round. I had the score 120 to 105. Some of them like kind of flash knockdowns. But I'm going to let you all kind of rant away, then I'll give my opinions of the fight. But Cap, I'll come to you first because like Shep's going to kind of be a bit negative, so I'll come to you.
Well, I had the same score as you, 120, 105, and I was arguing with Alex about it when the fight was on. We was on the WhatsApp chat, and I said, I don't know how you've given Postol a round, and he was like, well, he won the first two. I was like, I agree with you. The only one you could maybe give him was the third, but even then, he didn't do nothing major that makes you think he definitely won that round. Crawford just impressed me, man. He was good all the way through. I can't really fault it. I know Shep's going to moan a bit, but there was nothing in it. Maybe that you could criticise him that he could have went for the knockout and he didn't, because he probably could have got it if he put the pressure on a bit more. But I'm not going to criticise him for that, man. If you're going to... I think somewhere along the line, like if you put on a clinic, it's skewed now that that's a bad thing to do. I kind of find that weird, like people was moaning, saying, oh, well, Shep said if he was Cuban, would people have been so happy with it? Well, I don't see any difference. It was a good performance. It don't matter if you're Cuban or from anywhere. If it's a good performance, it's a good performance. I mean, the Americans are a bit... They get behind their boys, don't they?
I think, right, just quickly, instead of giving you my opinion, I'll give you a question, which I think hints at my opinion. If Crawford beats Pacquiao that exact same way, using a lot of movement and sort of firing off single shots, will he become a superstar and take over the mantle? Or will he need to do more than that and actually finish the guy, put on a bit of a show in order to become a superstar?
Well, no, you fight the fight to win. You fight a fight to win. You don't... This is what I don't understand. Like,
that's not enough.
He fought the perfect. He fought the perfect fight to win. What is he supposed to do?
He could have knocked him out. Definitely could have knocked him out, and he didn't.
He could have done.
Yeah, so that's the perfect fight.
No, I disagree there. So you're saying everyone needs a knockout to make it a perfect fight?
No. I'm saying if the knockout's there, I think a superstar is obliged to go for it. It's why Floyd got so much shit when he was at higher weights later in his career. I think, and a lot of people agree with this, by the way. A few of the guys at ESPN were saying the same thing. After about round 8, round 9, when it became clear, and I think even Postol accepted that he wasn't going to win, didn't he? Like, he wasn't really trying anything different. Crawford should have gone for the knockout, and I think he could have knocked him out. He hurt him several times. And I felt there were large stretches of that fight where he was moving a lot and just sort of doing laps of the ring. And I've seen guys like, it reminded me of the Lara Trout fight. Do you remember that one? When
it wasn't that bad.
No, I'm not.
It was nothing like that.
It was, there you go. Your memory of that fight is, God, that was awful. They were actually really, really similar. Lara knocked him down a couple of times. It was two guys, neither of who wanted to lead. They were waiting for the other one to counter, and then the guy with the superior movement ended up having his way with the guy with the slightly slower hands and the slower feet. And that's what happened. Postol had much slower hands, and I think Crawford could have quite easily put it on him a bit in the later rounds. Look, don't get me wrong, I gave Postol 2 rounds. I could easily see I gave him the first and the third. The first was very close, no problem with that going to Crawford. And after that, I thought Crawford completely dominated and was having, a good time, and it was very easy for him. But I don't know. I feel like if he does that against Pacquiao, that's not enough to become the next star. He's got to go into the next gear and get the guy out of there if it's on the table, and I think it definitely was on the table on Saturday.
I could counter that by saying we've seen Postol's got a bit of power in that uppercut, especially. Why risk getting caught by a shot you don't need to when you're so in control? Why not just?
He couldn't land on him at all.
Yeah, but if Crawford, for example, he tried to engage some more to get him out and caught a shot, you'd all be saying, "Oh, a fucking idiot! He got rocked or something."
Yeah, but do you think
you can't ever win in this game? You either.
No, but do you think he was going to get laid out off one shot off Postol?
No, of course not. But if he got dropped or something, the narrative changes then, doesn't it? Like,
but if he gets dropped and he gets up and knocks the other guy out, then that's even better. That's like a dream, That's a great fight and a great knockout win. Look, I'm just saying. Obviously, I'm holding him to an incredibly high standard here, which I don't hold 99% of other fighters to. But that's because he is so good. He's quite clearly, an amazing fighter who will probably be top 5 pound for pound in the near future, and could potentially become the next American star. But I think the obligation along with that is that you get guys like Postol out of there, because he proved that he was a level above him, and I think he could have knocked him out. Floyd knocked Corrales out in a very, very similar kind of milestone fight in his career. Postol was a Corrales equivalent, a guy who was very good but just too slow, couldn't get anything done, and Crawford was very, very happy to coast to a decision in the final few rounds. And I thought it was an 8 out of 10 performance, but it could have been a 10 out of 10.
Cal, are you there?
Yeah, mate. Well, I just watched 6 rounds of it yesterday because I'm fucking coming down like a bastard. But I watched 6 rounds, and everyone said pretty much after the 6th it just was the same round over and over. So I didn't bother watching it. I'll go back and watch it properly this week. But I don't really see how you can argue it was the best, beating up the second best fucking easily, and put on a bit of a fucking schooling. So, and also I thought Postol would win before the fight, so I can't now shit on Crawford for beating him pretty much to zip. So I'm impressed, and he's got the potential to be the next big thing. I'm not sure if his personality's gonna get him to superstar like Floyd, but he could definitely be a pay-per-view fighter if matched with the right opponents, Pacquiao,
Cal, if
Thurman, people like that.
If he's beating guys in that fashion, he's never going to sell many pay-per-views. I mean, you know,
no, but him against
the average
Pacquiao,
fan will not be interested in that at all.
No, but say if he went up against Pacquiao, you've got to think about the styles as well. Him against Pacquiao would be a fucking great fight.
But surely he'd be even more cautious, though. If he's that cautious against Postol.
Yeah, but you can't.
But Pacquiao's going to engage you non-stop anyway.
You can't be cautious against Pacquiao because he jumps on top of you, doesn't he? And he just fucking comes in. I reckon that.
I think Crawford would be even more cautious against Pacquiao.
I think they'd be knockdowns in that fight. I don't think either of them would get knocked out. But I think there'd be knockdowns in that fight because I don't know. I like that fight, and also he is quite a big fella, and I think him against Thurman, him against Garcia. I know he's on the wrong side of the split, but
I'm pretty sure he's taller than Thurman. But just let me get in there for 2 seconds. See with regards to like, there's a total difference between like Crawford and Floyd, and I don't mean like style-wise. Floyd kind of tapped into this MTV fucking era, and he just had this total fucking. It was more or less like kind of Black Urban, wasn't it? He kind of tapped into that like fucking 50 Cent crowd, and Crawford's not going to do that. He seems a lot quieter. Like, see when you listen to interviews with Floyd, he is probably as quiet as like fucking Crawford, but he's got that persona, so that's not going to change. And see, like Crawford, and that's why Floyd got away with having these sort of fucking types of fights, because he already had that fan base established. I don't think Crawford's going to do that. And see, he's like kind of beating Pacquiao. I don't know if it would maybe do. It's obviously going to make him a bigger star, but it could possibly just go the exact same way Mosley beating Oscar De La Hoya, that he doesn't become that star because he doesn't. I've no problem with like, the performance at the weekend. I actually quite liked it, but I can see where Shep's coming from. Like, he was totally in control of that fight, and
it was more that after about 8 rounds, you just think, okay, we know who's going to win this. There is like almost no chance Postol's got to win. So once you get to that situation, and it's the same with Floyd in certain fights, you think, okay, the fight is won, so now you should be trying to knock him out now. He broke his heart in about the 6th or 7th round, didn't he?
I personally think, like, and I said this on the Boxing Asylum. I feel as if like Floyd could have stopped Cotto. He could have. He really.
He could have stopped Canelo. I think. I still believe that.
He could have.
Canelo wanted to quit.
Canelo 100% wanted to quit.
I feel as if he went for it, he could have fucking stopped Manny. I really do think it, and it's like it was kind of turn around and says, this is all what Floyd fans do. Oh, you could have done this, you could have done this, but he didn't. And granted, he didn't. So I can see your point of view with Crawford. But see the hangman Crawford though. Like, what was great about him, and to probably everybody noticed this, he was doing very little, and this is where I'm going to agree with you over like the kind of Rigo thing. He was doing very little, but what he was doing is he was using loads of feints, right, and he was just moving his head, and it was just confusing Postol. And what was happening is Postol wouldn't throw a jab, and this kind of comes on to Roach. He seems to have no fucking game plan. He has no like, game A, B, or C. He doesn't know how to change it, and it's like Postol. He seems to be that sort of boxer where he can only throw a punch when his feet are set. And
what I noticed, Brian, that was really odd was after Crawford went southpaw. You know, I think he did it in the first round, didn't he? Went southpaw
straight away, pretty much.
Yeah. But he was circling towards Postol's right hand.
Why?
He
Going away,
wanted
really
him
odd.
to throw the right, didn't he?
You kept thinking, like, why isn't he going towards the jab? Why is he going towards the power hand? And then you think, and then you realise, like, it's because Postol wouldn't throw the right on its own. He had to throw the jab first.
Yeah.
So take the jab away, there was absolutely nothing that was going to come back at him. And then every time he did get off sort of 1-2, Crawford's hands were so much faster. He could get in, 2 or 3 punches. And he hurt him 2 or 3 times, didn't he?
I said to Alex, like, when we was watching it, I said, like, obviously not a mirror image because Fury had to work a lot harder for it, but it kind of reminded me of Fury's lad. The way movement was just causing the stand-up, jab, grab, right-hand guy shitloads of problems and he didn't know what to do. Like, there was nothing.
But also, Postol barely held him at all, did he? Like,
well, he didn't
was
have a
out
chance,
of range
did he?
every time. Yeah, it was a funny fight to watch. There were sort of minute-long stretches where neither guy was anywhere near the other one.
Well,
And
Crawford was taking a piss in parts as well, and he, like, what round was it when he fainted and he went to throw a shot and then stopped straight away?
That was late. It was like 9-10 or something like that, wasn't it? And he just laughed at him.
He laughed at him, yeah.
That was around the time when I thought, okay, you should be beating the shit out of him now. You shouldn't be like.
What did you make of the 12th round then when Postol decided to go for it? Do you think he should
have done that like 4 rounds earlier, I think, right?
Well, yeah, I was going to say to you, it kind of takes 2 to make a fight, doesn't it? If Postol's not going to engage him and Crawford's pissing it, like he was, he's not going to, unless he absolutely
I guess maybe
needs to.
was maybe hoping that he was going to gas or something. It didn't really seem like Roach had a plan B at all.
Postol needs to get some stick for it because he could have made that fight. Well, obviously he got tagged more in the 12th than he did any other round, but.
I think Postol was right.
When he knows he was like near enough 10 points down after.
I'm going to bring like Drew and Cal back in here, but right before the day. You know what this kind of reminded me? This kind of basically reminded me of like Fury Vlad.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hold on, Brian. That's a great comparison, mate. Thanks.
Alright, cheers for that. Basically, what it was is like Vlad was that confused when he threw the jab, so no other punch was coming because of it, and like Fury just kind of was clowning about, and like Crawford seemed just really fucking comfortable with it. And if that is, I'm going to edit you out saying that.
That's exactly what I've just fucking said.
I honestly did not hear you say that.
Comments out of the podcast first.
See, when I'm not talking, I fucking zone out and I fuck about and I'm writing stuff down.
That's because you only care about yourself, you egotistical fuck.
Aye, that's right, Joey. Are you there, aye?
Yeah, I'm here.
Aye, what was your opinion on the fight?
It's weird, isn't it? Because we come out of it and Crawford was. I thought it was going to be a close fight. I picked Crawford to win, but I thought it'd be a lot closer than it was. But it's weird. It's just the way boxing is that we're more disappointed with Crawford, or we're a bit harsher on Crawford than we are Postol. I don't think that it was when Fury beat Vlad. Vlad was just clearly confused with Fury's movement and the fact that when he got up close, he couldn't manhandle him. Postol never really got close to tried to manhandle him. It wasn't like Crawford shut him down and shrugged him off. Like you say, that moment in the later rounds where they quite literally Crawford must have stood right opposite Postol with his hands by his waist, but half fainting with a big smile on his face, and he did it for about 10 seconds, which was extraordinarily long. So I think just held back way too much. And I didn't see the documentary on Crawford, but I saw the HBO 30-minute preview program, and there was like a short clip on it, probably about 20 seconds long, of Postol on the pads with Freddie, and they look like strangers compared to when you see a lot of top fighters with their trainers, and you can see they've done it a million times before. They didn't look like they knew each other that well to me.
Is it actually Roach who's doing stuff mainly, or is he only doing it for the cameras? Is it Marvin?
I thought Simodio did it quite a lot. Simodio's a good little trainer, I think. He should stop being a number 2 to Freddie and actually start leading a corner. I think
I'd be cutting his fucking eating stones in the street before Freddie. Fuck him.
I don't think Roach got long left in the tank. When's it going to stop? When are people going to, especially HBO, are they going to stop saying, oh, he's trained by the best trainer with Freddie Roach? He's obviously not the best trainer.
The Americans were annoyed about that, weren't they? And I compared it to
Joe Gallagher.
Every time Joe Gallagher's the trainer of the year, so what are you talking
Well, no, it's the way that Sky will always refer to Gallagher as like Britain's foremost trainer or Britain's best trainer or whatever, and you know that that's just Sky nonsense. Whereas HBO will always say Freddie Roach, you know, the best trainer in the world. And it's like, well, he's probably the most famous trainer in the world. Like, my wife recognised him when I was watching the fight back in the morning. She went, oh, it's him, like, between rounds. She didn't recognise either of the fighters or anyone else, but she knew who he was.
That's because he gets on the fucking camera as often as he can.
Yeah.
He's full of shit. I used to really like Freddie, but he's full of shit these days. Like, what's that bet all about, man? It's fucking stupid.
He's an absolute mercenary. As soon as like Manny was on his way out, he's just picked up loads of alright fighters and he's done absolutely nothing with them. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to be a good fucking trainer if you've got Andre Ward, like Virgil Hunter has proved. You can be a good trainer if you've got fucking class fighters. If you haven't,
the point.
When it comes to it, and he doesn't do anything.
Now, I think there's a theory about how it's a bit like the great managers in football will build, like Ferguson. He had 3 great Man United teams, didn't he, in 20 years or whatever. And the best managers will be able to build more than one great team. They won't just like inherit a Messi or a Ronaldo and then win the league. And I think it's the same with boxing trainers. You know, if you look at some of the greats from history, they'll have had sort of 4 or 5 legendary fighters that they built up. And
Dundee had a few, didn't he?
And that who was the guy who had Eddie Futch and guys like that who they had guys in the 70s, 80s.
Who's
90s.
the Mexican boy?
Bernstein.
Yeah,
Nacho.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Nacho.
He's got guys going back as far as what? Late 80s, I think.
Well, he's had both Marquez since they was like literally out the womb as well, isn't he?
Don't you just find out sometimes with Roach, he gets a lot more praise than he should because of his disability and because he's got a good story behind him. Do you like it's an easy sell when you can show pictures of him not being able to walk and taking loads of pills, but then he does this.
Good point.
Well, every trainer's got the perfect fighter, haven't they? And Pacquiao is the perfect fighter for Roach.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like,
Roach,
attack-minded, no defense.
I don't think he did horribly for Cotto. He weren't too bad.
He improved Khan's attack and he turned him into a good fighter. It's just the defensive side of it. Khan will never.
He improved Khan massively. Yeah, massively. And
I'm not saying I won't say he was shit. I'm just saying I think sometimes it's too much you put on it, and I think it's really where do the good fighters just go to the most well-known coaches, or do they? Because they all seem to go to him, don't they?
You have to wonder whether there's a TV network involved there.
Another thing.
Or like Tony Sims.
Got to go with this. Well, exactly, yeah, and the GCEs.
Another thing. When they were saying that perhaps Pacquiao and Postol could fight, he was like, "Yeah, I'd be with Pacquiao. Postol would have to go back to his other trainer." It's like, the fuck. Can't say that.
It was the same with Provodnikov, wasn't it? I remember when he won the title, Roach fucked him off. He was
going to let Marvin train Provodnikov.
Exactly.
And that was like a gym thing, but he wasn't going to do that at Postol.
Well, basically, he made a good point. No, he couldn't fucking have Marvin train Postol when he's for the Philippines. What if Postol beat him? He'd get stabbed when he went back home.
Did anyone see the bet that Freddie put on?
Yeah, it was £100, $100, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he bet years ago, it was like, I think it was a Ring Magazine thing that revealed it. He bet on Pacquiao to stop Barrera, and he put like tens of thousands of dollars on it, and he put $100 on the weekend.
They said that on the HBO pod. They were like, "This is not a good sign," because 10 years ago, Freddie was betting like 50 grand on every.
Did he not fucking bet a house for Cotto to beat Canelo?
He claimed he did, but I don't know. He said he bet one of his houses that Cotto would knock him out or something. It was a ridiculous.
Right. Look, see what with regard. We'll come back to Crawford. See with regards to Crawford.
Oh, can I just say one thing? Last night on the Boxing Asylum. One of the stupid Yanks said that Postol is better than Vladimir Klitschko.
Get to fuck.
Name and shame.
It was Hater Dave.
Oh, he said something.
I like Dave. He lets himself down sometimes.
You all said earlier on it was Donny said that, and I was trying to defend Donny.
Nah, it weren't Donny. He's all right.
The thing is, so this is how I don't want. Fuck it. I will. Hater Dave's a bald bastard, right? But see his problem. He hates on somebody and he can't fucking think logically over them. And that's how I don't like sending around questions sometimes to the asylum. Because see, when he answers them, he has a fucking spazzy fit. Like, see that question I asked the other week about this kind of Survivor Series with boxers? The only thing someone fucking sending that to the asylum is because he'd fucking freak his load and he'd say Floyd would get barred off every cunt and probably get knocked out in the first round. He just loses the plot.
Every cunt has to either be the best fighter that's ever lived or the worst fighter and got absolutely no talent.
You know what it looks like? See, when I send a picture, you know how the odd time Tom, in fact, I say Tom, you know how when Tom sends a picture he's hard on and he's got the foreskin right back and he's got the bulbous head? That looks like Hater Dave. Have you seen a picture of Hater Dave? He's a big bald bastard. He looks like a fucking a spazzy version of Kelly Pavlik. Right, so Terence Crawford. We'll go through the 140. Like what belts he got? He's got the WBC and the WBO. They basically don't do any mandatories. What do you think? See, we'll go on to the Manny fight. See if he doesn't get the Manny fight. Who do you think's like a fucking reasonable opponent for him to fight?
Well, beating Postol, he's kind of already cleaned up in that fight.
Yeah.
And there's no one like Broner, but he'd rinse him. What's the point?
Oh, he hasn't cleaned up. You know who another champion is?
Reynolds, I suppose, the French champions at 140.
You've got Big Reynolds, and of course you've got Sir Richard of Burns.
Yeah.
Rematch or retire.
We've got Troyanovsky. I wouldn't mind him fighting like Troyanovsky, say like in Omaha, he'd fill out the fucking crowd, and that's. Did they not get the lineal belt last night? Because did they get that as well?
Yeah.
Troyanovsky's got Lenny Zappa now as his mandatory, so the winner of that could fight Crawford.
Who the fuck's Lenny Zappa?
Do you reckon they could give him one where he'll look really good, like a Provodnikov, and he'll just look like an absolute.
He'd wipe him out.
And he wouldn't stop him. This is a short thing.
Provodnikov would quit this time.
No, he would not quit. Time, motherfuckers!
There's never quit.
Stop him. It's the most boring, one-sided 12-round decision you've ever seen.
Exactly. He'd wipe him out.
It wouldn't be boring. It wouldn't be boring because it'd be fucking blood everywhere.
Provodnikov would beat Floyd.
Cameron Gillen boxing.
What?
Pacquiao Provodnikov.
Do you know how you get? It's almost boring to watch Provodnikov now, though. It's a bit like when we had like Gabe Rosado getting fights every fight.
I fucking says that every fucking week, man. Oh, who was that?
Yeah, that's pretty much my point. But would we mind if someone like Matisse got recycled?
Yeah,
it'd be better than Provodnikov.
You can't fight the guy that Postol just spat out.
It's quite a shallow division, though, isn't it? I don't really. The Burns rematch is not going to happen. I don't know. Fucking Beltran's at 140 now. It's not a massively deep division, is it? Unless they drag someone up. I don't know. Mikey. Well, I doubt Mikey Garcia would fight on an Orem show again.
What about
that Orozco guy? He's been on HBO a couple of times.
Right, everyone move.
Fucking echo. Hey. Seriously, who's got it open?
It's Dewey. Mute yourself, Dewey, mate.
No, but someone's got like the YouTube channel open or something as well, so it's coming through twice.
That's right now.
But yeah, I can see that
because I'm just starting muting every cunt. May have been that press pass Paul bastard.
Yeah, he's been suspiciously quiet.
He hasn't said much, has he?
I fucking hate press pass.
He's putting a wardrobe together.
Where is it?
Lanky spastic. Right, where we on here, man? I fucking lost track.
Right, I'm going to say this on the record now. Crawford will fight Orozco, who is a top-ranked fighter, undefeated. The one who basically got beat by what's his face? Soto about a year ago. Do you remember him? Got a very, very dodgy decision. I reckon he'll fight him next.
Crawford's fighting Manny. He's fighting Manny.
I don't know if that will happen though.
Who's Frankie Gomez with?
Golden Boy.
Oh, is it?
He's fucked off, man. He's not been back to the gym for like the last 4. He's literally not been back to the gym.
I think he said he was going to go up to 147 as well, or that's what he's looking at.
Right, so there is nothing other than like Ricky Burns or like Troyanovsky at 140. So I think he's going to. He'll maybe hold the belts until he can maybe see if he gets the Manny fight. And I think maybe like Manny was holding off to see who the winner of this was. But Manny Pacquiao, we all know since fucking Floyd retired, I've turned into a backtard. I've always liked Manny Pacquiao as a fighter, but I didn't ever admit it because obviously I was a FOMO with it. Who's fucking clashing plates in the background? That's fucking Mark. Manny this is the one fight I would look. The thought of going to Vegas like this year now is going to cost me an absolute fortune, and I don't want to do it for fucking Warkovlev because as much as it's a super fight, I don't know. It's just not get the same. Maybe the casual bits coming out. It's not get the same. It's not get the same sexiness. But
how does it not? It's literally.
I know this, but it's probably just Ward. Ward. I don't know. Don't ask me. But Manny.
Ward's got that aura about him that he's a bit of a twat. But come on, the fight is immense.
I know that, but I think it. But I don't know. See, you go to Vegas. It can't just be one fucking fight where you're going to go there, oh, it's a fucking belt in a fight. See if you went to like a fucking Manny Pacquiao v Crawford, you know for a fact you're going to get Oscar Valdez and a few other cunts on there, maybe like Gilberto Ramirez. You go to fucking Kovalev Ward and it's going to be Kovalev Ward and who else? Absolutely no fucker. So I'm paying like fucking £1,500 for 3 days to go and watch this. Aye, it's a casual out of me, but I'm not fucking going to Vegas like to spend all that money just for fucking one fight. I get kicked out of the brothel the last time I was there, didn't I? It didn't go fucking well for me, so I want something for my money. But I'm going to go on record.
You're a bit slimmer this time, though, Brian. They might
oh, you fucking better believe it, boy.
They might not make you pay double.
I know. I'm going on record right now. Manny Pacquiao v Crawford. Fucking, if this gets made, I'm picking fucking Manny to win. Unanimous decision. Boom.
I think it's a proper 50-50. I've been thinking about how it could go last couple of days, and yeah, it's really hard to call.
I mean, when people keep saying that he'll do the exact same as Floyd, Crawford doesn't fight like Floyd, and Floyd does not switch it, and Crawford is going to go a southpaw. And what's going to happen if he goes southpaw? That's just going to open him right up for fucking like Pacquiao just to throw an overhand right all the time. Right?
But also, Brian, it's hand speed, isn't it? Like, I tweeted after the fight, the only thing that's going to trouble Crawford is a guy with fast hands, because if you're slow, well, Matisse wouldn't have a chance because his hands are too slow. Provided the same reason. Pacquiao's hands are still very fast. And do you remember those punches that Gamboa was hitting him with for the first 4 rounds? If Pacquiao's hitting him with those shots, then Crawford will be in trouble. So I actually think it's a great fight, and I've just got a horrible feeling it's not going to happen. I don't know why.
I'll go back to let's see what we were talking about Floyd earlier on. Floyd's the only person that could probably get away with winning a round by basically doing jack shit, right? He's the only person that get that because he has got that aura about him. Crawford's not got that. So see if he's like kind of just doing what he was doing at the weekend where he was moving. And I said on Sunday there's a difference between Slickster with Crawford and Runner is Lara. Right, but Crawford was doing a bit too much moving at times, right? But see if he does that against like, Pacquiao and Pacquiao's throwing punches, you find well know the judges are going to give it to him anyway, so he can't do that. He's going to need to engage Pacquiao all the time. And like he's not Marquez, he's not this fucking outstanding counter puncher. Well, we don't know because we don't know what Crawford's really like if he has to just keep going at it, but we know he's fucking vicious. As soon as he gets clipped, the first thing he wants to do is start bombing back. But I'd pick Manny because I just feel as if I still think Manny's the best fucking welterweight right now, active welterweight.
What do you think they'd do in terms of the weight? Because do you reckon Manny would want to catch weight like 144 or something? Because
well, that would just benefit Crawford. It makes no difference. Either weight would benefit Crawford. Crawford didn't look dry at 140, and then putting on 7 punt, he would be even fucking bigger.
I know, but Manny hasn't had a fight for a bit. It might not be as easy. He's 38, 39, isn't he? It's hard for him to keep getting down.
But I think, but you remember
he's around at like 150.
Manny comes in at 143, 144 and eats on the day they fucking weigh. Like after the day of the fight.
He weighed in 144 against Mayweather, didn't he?
Aye.
So he's not exactly.
Mayweather came in 146. But yeah. Mayweather was dehydrated and he needed to get an IV. He was lucky that he was even able to fight that night. So
very dangerous for Mayweather to make 147.
Exactly. Like, he was fucking ill that weekend.
Actually, I drained him down, to be honest.
Sorry.
It should have been 154. Drew, what do you think of the Crawford Manny Pacquiao fight?
Sorry, lads, just unmuted myself. Am I still echoing?
No, you're fine.
No, it's good now. It's all good.
Oh. I think it's not an easy fight to call, is it? I think both of them would be at mid-range. Crawford would have to pick his moments. He's got not slightly. He's probably got a significant reach advantage, isn't he? Yeah, Crawford would have to pick his moments, but I think Pacquiao might just be a bit more consistent over the rounds, and Crawford's going to go for the walk at different points, so that's where Pacquiao would press, and maybe bank the rounds and just edge them. I don't think they'd be too far apart on the scorecards, and if it's in Vegas, the scorecards could be all over the place, couldn't they?
I think it might be the sort of fight where Crawford is given a close decision for the good of the sport, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because he's got more fights in him.
Yeah, and it will be kind of. Sorry, I can't do this with the echo.
It's all right. Go on, you go.
Has Dewey got the YouTube open or something? It's mental.
But it doesn't echo when he's speaking.
No, I know, because
it's when his mic's unmuted. It echoes for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, we'll have to get him on talk and then mute him again immediately.
It's come off.
It sounds good hearing you twice, Shep.
Sorry.
I like hearing your opinions twice.
I was going to say, I'm up here listening to myself talk, but not in sort of live. But,
Alex, what's your opinion?
On what?
Crawford fucking Pacquiao, you drunken cunt.
I've said before the Postol fight, I thought that Crawford was going to beat Pacquiao, and I think even
didn't you bet on Postol to win?
For a laugh, because it was like 7-1 for fucking decision, so why not? I chucked a few quid on that. I can't ignore that. I mean, the odds were mental. It felt at the time the odds were mental.
It turned out the odds were about right, weren't they? To be honest, he looked like a 6-1.
Yeah. In retrospect, you can say that. With hindsight is 20/20 vision, isn't it? You can say that he was completely dominated and the odds were right, but at the time, 7-1 for a point, so you could reasonably see beforehand that maybe he's going to spoil the fight, he's going to get in close, he's going to grab him, he's going to just make it really close and a real shitty fight. But obviously he couldn't do it. Crawford cut him down and shut him down essentially. But as for the Manny fight, I just think that, as much as I love Manny, I think that he's too old. He's getting way past it. He's not fast enough. I think Crawford is just athletically the superior fighter. I don't think he'd be stupid enough to do the southpaw stance against Manny, because as you said, he would open up the right hand for Manny and he would get fucking smashed to bits. I think Manny could hurt him, certainly, but I don't think Manny will ever have that instinct to stop Crawford or even hunt him down. I mean, I pointed out to Brian, I think, on Twitter that the last time, it was 7 years ago that Manny stopped someone. I mean, he put Algieri on his ass about 15 million times.
That should have been stopped, that fight.
Yeah, definitely should have been stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, Algieri, that sort of level is far below what Crawford is. I just think that Crawford is a very intelligent fighter. I'm not saying that Manny isn't, but I'm just saying I think that he wouldn't do this stupid southpaw stance, and I think that his corner, as underrated as his corner and unknown as his corner is, I think that they'd understand what Manny would be about.
Is Crawford a southpaw that's learned how to fight orthodox, or orthodox has learned how to fight southpaw?
I have no idea.
Exactly, because he is that good at southpaw, and do you know what I know is how good his southpaw is? It's like, see when people normally change their stance, their fucking jab's abysmal, but his jab's absolutely perfect, and that's how he won the fight.
Well, it's like Marvin Hagler. He learned how to do it with both, and he fucking smashed every cunt.
The one recently who was the guy who was left-handed, but he was told to fight orthodox.
Sergio.
Yeah, that was it. No, there was someone else who was on. I feel like it was only a couple of weeks ago, and the whole family were left-handed or something, but they've been forced to fight. I think it might have been one of the Cuban guys.
No, that's what they say. They say that the Cubans, that every one of them are taught to fucking go southpaw.
Yeah, but
yeah, all the right. Yeah, if you've got the strong hand, if you're right-handed, you're told to go southpaw.
Kevin Mitchell as well. I'm pretty sure Kevin Mitchell was like, he was he fought the opposite way. So, I'm positive.
Mitchell was truly ambidextrous. He was actually quite a rare. He was sort of a whole other level to any other fighter, really.
Well, I know I shan't Kevin Mitchell, man, but I was always a massive fan of him because he was always fucking right good fights. I was devastated that Casidas fucking smashed him, right? But I was early when fucking Ricky Burns absolutely.
I might watch that one.
I've watched that fight about 20 times. It's fucking brilliant.
I might watch it. I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I might stick it on.
Guys, was it Gary Russell Jr. who switched to southpaw, or am I imagining that?
Well, I don't know.
In the middle of a fight, or
I think he's orthodox, isn't he, Russell? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, was he like left-handed and he went orthodox?
Well, I know the theory is that behind it is that if you're strong with your right hand, the theory is that you should switch.
You know, I've always felt that.
southpaw.
See, Puerto Ricans, I've always felt that they fucking switch because they've always got a fucking belt in a left hook, and I always felt as if that was like more of a left-hander's fucking punch. Like
You're using your stronger hand more. You're using it to jab, with your right fist. It's more power in it because you use it more. Using it to jab, using it to hook, you're using it to fuck us up.
Because I think I asked that before. I think I asked this Iron before. Like, is it like kind of like something that's trained with like Puerto Rican fighters? Because you go back to like Wilfredo Gomez, like Tito Trinidad, Cotto, and that. They've always got this fucking beast of a hook, and it's as if they're all kind of trained with it. But maybe it's just like kind of gifted. So
I was left-handed, Brian, but my parents forced me to write with my right hand. True story.
I'm left-handed, but that's because you're a Tory bastard.
They told me they didn't want their children to be cack-handed, so they said, yeah. Genuinely, my dad was like really funny about it. He said, I don't want any of my kids being left-handed. It's really weird.
Fuck's sake.
Press pass bastard, are you there?
Yo.
What have you not spoke for?
Well, I've been waiting. You've introduced everyone but me. I thought, I'll wait for my. Wait for you to bring me into a question.
He hasn't introduced me. I just fucking barged in.
I introduced Alex as well.
Brian, mate, unveil the new signing.
Welcome to the next big pod. Fucking press pass lanky bastard bed cunt.
Grass cunt. Fucking canary.
Jump ship.
Hiya, press pass.
He wanted to leave because he couldn't handle stuff like fucking unable Sanchez anymore. He'd rid no problem cloner. A fucking queer fur women.
Quick.
That was always my favourite.
Queer fur woman was the best one.
Queer woman.
Calzone.
Prick.
Right, press pass.
This comment on YouTube that I've just seen. Fucking Don King raped his own grandfather while felching his nan's shit for him. What fucking fans have we got? Jesus Christ.
Dab been announced his 7-year-old victims are. Right, press pass, push your fucking bar through this like Crawford, like Postol and Crawford Pacquiao thing so I can move on.
Yeah, I think obviously you covered it quite well. I thought it was good earlier when Shep and Carpy were looking at it from the opposite way, but they're actually both right. Shep's right in the fact that if you want to be a superstar, you've got to knock people out. And there were times in sort of the 10th and 11th where I thought Crawford really should have stepped on the gas. But the flip side of this is it was on a fairly obscure pay-per-view which won't have sold that well. It won't be a big audience for Crawford, and I think there's been fights when he's been on a regular HBO where he's looked more emphatic and more impressive. So I don't think that he's turning fans away because of his style. I don't think he's a boring fighter to watch, certainly. I don't think that was him at his most exciting, but he was up against what the Ring magazine and a lot of people regarded as the number one in that division, or certainly they saw it as very much those two above everyone else. I think he won beyond conclusively. I think I gave Postol 1 round. I think it was the third. I think I gave him maybe a share of the first, but that was it. Since then, there was nothing, and he looked very, very ploddy and slow in rounds 8, 9, and 10. And Crawford probably should have stepped up the gas, but he didn't. I think there's nothing at 140 pounds for him. He's beaten everyone there. Troyanovsky is just, there's nothing about that makes you think, okay, I desperately want to see that fight. We've already seen Burns. Broner doesn't deserve a fight like that. It's going to have to be 147. I think he's a big guy, and I think he can grow into the weight. I think there's a lot of good fights there for him. But Manny Pacquiao is an absolute must. Pacquiao, I think, was given the option of fighting him last year, and he didn't take it. And obviously, when he came back to fight Bradley, a lot of people thought it could have been the Crawford fight. I don't think his camp really fancy it, and I don't think that Roach, after that last night, will fancy it either. But I think Pacquiao will go in as favourite, and rightly so. I think the one thing that you can say about Crawford is he does lots of things well, but he doesn't do one thing necessarily exceptional. Pacquiao's hand speed can cause problems for any fighter. If I was to say right now who would win, I'd say Pacquiao points. But it's a really interesting fight. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really, really interesting fight. The problem is when we see fighters go out, they don't tend to go out on really interesting fights. They tend to go out on safety first fights. And there's a lot of other guys that Pacquiao could go in with, which I think he's more assured of a victory and will be a cheaper opponent. You know, Crawford's going to want real money for this. And with Pacquiao's purse already being cut down because his 20 million thing, which a lot of people assumed was a goer, isn't anymore. I don't know if the budget will be there for them to make this kind of fight to satisfy what Crawford wants, but it was good. It was a decent fight. It wasn't exceptional. I thought Postol was disappointing, but Crawford now, he's cleaned up 140 pounds. Let's get him up to one of the most interesting divisions, or certainly one of the deepest divisions at 147.
I don't think Manny cares if he loses on his way out. I don't think that he cares if he takes a loss. He's not this sort of fighter that. I mean, he's obviously got 7 or 8 losses, I think now, maybe.
Oh, it's not as many as that.
I don't. No. I don't think he cares if he. I'm not saying he cares that he'll lose, but I just think that the people around, like I said, you have to. Manny Pacquiao, I don't think has ever picked realistically. He doesn't pick opponents, doesn't pick fights. You know, it's all down to that horrible rat Michael Conks, or however you pronounce his name, and the people around him. I think Manny will fight. I think Manny will fight whoever. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think the decision's taken out of his hands, whereas obviously Floyd turned around and said, right, I want an easy fight. Who's a Heyman guy we can give a big payday to? I'm not saying he'll go out on a Berto, but I'm saying there's a danger when he fights Crawford. But is Crawford the biggest money fight for him? I know you don't want to. I know you might disagree. Pacquiao.
But he's only got Vargas in, and Vargas is fucking turgid.
Yeah, Vargas isn't a name, is it? Compared to Crawford. Press pass. He's fucked off. Yeah, Vargas isn't a name compared to Crawford. Who else is there?
I think. Yeah, it's a shame that, I mean, Broner priced himself. Obviously, Broner and Garcia are both.
Take 4 million. Surely Crawford's going to take 4 million's a lot of money.
It is, and I don't actually. From Crawford's point of view, he should take it regardless, as long as he's getting 7 figures or more, because it's such an opportunity for him.
I mean, like Ricky Burns is a high risk, low reward for him. He doesn't want to go back there.
But there's a lot of people saying about Burns' performance, and they're saying that at the time it seemed quite one-sided. But he did manage to get a few rounds. And one thing, if you look back at
4 rounds at the 12th, with a broken back, and it was final.
No, but I'm saying, but if you go through the scorecards of the fight, and also including the ones where he got stoppages. Since that fight, Terence Crawford has only lost a handful of rounds. I think he lost more rounds against Thomas DeLorme than against any of the other opponents. You know, he's not lost. You know, he's dominated a lot of fights. He's won a lot of rounds in fights, and that's almost as impressive for me as him stopping someone. Winning on points is one thing, but routing, which a lot of them, Brian had it. I think a few of you had it 120 to 105. You know, I think a lot of people saw it as a tough. I mean,
sorry, I need to address that. If you had that a shutout, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Postol really clearly won that 3rd round.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I gave him the 3rd.
Yeah, we fucking dick. I had that fucking shutout.
How?
Yeah,
You're trying to reason with a man who gave Ricky Burns 4 rounds against.
Chef, are you trying to talk? We can't fucking hear you.
I think if you want to beat Crawford, you've got to win like at least 3 out of the first 4 rounds. Because he always seems to improve
I've been turning up this for you, man.
I think if you want to beat Crawford, you've got to win at least 7 of the 12. But that's me.
Right.
Well, you're right.
Right. Okay, guys. We've done this to death. We kind of need to move on here. Right. The undercard. I'm just going to brush through that. Can
we all communally masturbate over Oscar Valdez?
Yeah.
We're going to go on him, motherfucker. Did Tino give your boy about a fucking tanking and spam?
No comment.
He's going to give Mark and Dewey's boy a bit of a fucking tonking, isn't he?
Right, Ed Yang get knocked out, 6th round.
Yeah, but Lenny Zappa, which we mentioned earlier, you said who the fuck's that?
Well, Zappa Vingilan. Right, Oscar Valdez got a fucking 2-round wipeout against an Argentinian bum. Glavosnik, the hype job, beat Tony Carpensi, and he was losing to Carpensi, I think.
He lost the first round and then won every other round.
Jose Benavides, and this is the fight that I want to come on against Francisco Santana. And I wouldn't mind, and I'm going to be blunt here, if Adelaide Bird dies, right? That fucking scorecard was abysmal. I posted my scorecard just so people didn't think that I was making shit up. I had Francisco Santana winning that. What was that, 10 rounder? So I had it like 96, 94. I had it. So see a swing round, right? It was a draw. There's absolutely no way on this fucking earth I know how Jose Benavides won that fight, and I know that Irish cunt on HBO Boxing says he had it wide for Benavides. I think he had it 7-3 for Benavides. How the fuck can you score it like that? He was trying to say that. He was trying to make out as if see when you're watching that fight, all you're seeing is Santana doing a lot of work but not landing a lot of punches, and Benavides landing a lot of punches but not doing a lot of work. So that wasn't fucking true. Santana was landing a load of fucking punches. He was outworking them. And I'm a fan of boxers, right? You'd think I would fucking score it for Benavides. No, he done his usual. I gave him the first couple of rounds. I'm pretty sure I had Santana winning the next maybe like 6 rounds, and Benavides winning the last 3 or something like that. Benavides, I fucking hate. I can't fucking stand Benavides. The guy seems as if he's got a lot of fucking talent. He's got a great jab. He used it for the first 2 rounds. After that, he just shuts down. He's had a fucking gift for. I had Herrera beating him. He seems to be one of these fuckers like a Jesse Vargas. No matter how shit he is, he will get the decision go for him, and I'm fucking raging. Santana goes home a winner because his fucking wife is absolutely fucking stunning, man. And see if I get stabbed and I bled out and I nearly died, and I knew that was going home to her, I would be fucking over the moon. Her tits are like Cotto's wife's. Perfect. Big fucking just hangs in your lap.
Ryan, can you hear me? Am my volume back now?
It was me turned you up, I turned you down.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I was raging about this fight. I want Adelaide beat. If there's a couple of fucking Americans listening to this, and maybe you do, and we know you are all fucking trigger happy. We know right now you are fucking trigger happy. Every cunt's going to be blasting every cunt. Get down to fucking Vegas where she stays, kick the door in, and she'll be like, oh, what is this? Shoot on the fucking knee, then tell her why you're doing it. Our scorecards are fucking shocking, and then shoot fucking, who's our man? Shoot our man and all. Right, so that's what I want to happen. On you go, shit.
I was going to say I had it a draw. I thought the fight was very close. I mean, I could have seen 6-4 Benavides or 96-94. Maybe 96-94 Santana. I don't know if he won more than 5 rounds really. But I had a cheeky triple on Santana to win, and then a Valdez KO and a Crawford decision. So I was quite annoyed that. When I heard the shutout scorecard in favour of Benavides, but yeah, it was a funny one. I think he's the type of fighter he seems to be performing at like 60%, and yet he is still winning and beating these guys. I did think Herrera beat him, but
didn't he just jump up 2 weights though?
No,
he went up 1. He was 140 for Herrera. Now he's 147. He's quite tall. I think he looks quite like 147 suits him.
He fell down.
Oh, he's a big lanky bastard, isn't he?
And he came in at 146 for this fight, which suggests that he can make the weight reasonably well. And I feel like I actually quite like him now. I think he's almost trolling the fans. Like he doesn't need to. You know, he had a great jab when he used it against Santana. Santana couldn't get near him, and then he just go and lie on the ropes for like 3 rounds and do absolutely nothing. And I actually quite enjoyed it because I just thought this guy could quite easily win every round. But I saw the top rank, the international feed on the Box Nation broadcast, and Christina Poncha pointed out about halfway through. She said, "Guys, just so you're aware, it's pretty obvious from Benavides' like demeanor and his facial expression. He thinks he's winning every single round, and I quite like when fighters are deluded like that. So I think I'm going to become a Benavides fan."
He's a prick.
No, I like him. He's one of my...
Didn't she say something like Jesse Vargas gave Santana a pair of boxing boots because he's an avid?
I was a fucking. I was a that. You know I'm a sucker for that. That's why I like Jazz Diggins, because he was fucking. He's got a right fucking bad story, but he made out as if like he was some sort of pikey where like he had absolutely no money and he was getting in and nobody wanted to speak to him not because I think he was basically getting in with no shoes or like pure wrecked shoes, and like Jesse Vargas in the same gym took him under his wing, got him like fucking pair of boxing boots, and he's like, I'm not going to wear them here. I don't want to waste them. I'll wear them like to my actual fights and all that. And you see me forget, like you think, like see, I've like, go to Vegas and all you see is like money in the casinos. Not that guy must have been that fucking poor if he's getting in there and he's.
I'll tell you why he ain't got no money. He spent it all on his missus' tits.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. See, for that, like, they told us that they got together before they got into boxing. So she's been with him for he was a black cunt for absolutely no money and a smelly bastard. How did he pull that? I can't even get a bird and I'm always get fucking money. And this cunt's fucking black as fuck.
Press Pass just left the chat when he heard Jesse Vargas was giving out free shoes. He's on the plane.
No, he's running.
Running as fast as he can.
Do you want to talk about Valdez? Because yeah, I think we were all very impressed with him, weren't we?
Well, I've got my cock out ready for it.
But you're not that. I've got to eat a bit before we go. I've got to eat a bit of humble pie on this because I remember
eat my ass if you want.
On the old MVP, I think it was last year. I was talking to Pops about it, and I said I wasn't. This was before the Avalos fight, so it was quite a while ago, and obviously before Valdez fought.
Did you pick Gradovich to knock him out?
No, because I was in. But he fought a guy called Tamayo that fight before that, and it went the distance. And Valdez was I don't know if he was ill or something, but he was really flat and one-dimensional.
Yeah, he was, yeah, I remember.
He didn't look very good at all. And I remember I had an argument with Pops because I was saying that I think this Valdez is being overhyped, and he was saying, no, trust me, he's good. So I'll give him his credit. He was right. And yeah, Valdez is. I really like watching him fight now. He's my ideal type, you know, like a proper boxer puncher. Really well schooled, but with genuine power and seems to go for the knockout. So
who's this Pops you're talking about?
He probably asked his source if Valdez was any good.
Who's Pops? Is that fucking scumbag, Judas bastard?
Judas, yeah.
Mo Johnson.
Fuck off, Pops, you fucking scumbag. Fucking sleeper cell. Probably a terrorist.
Who do you want to see Valdez in with next?
Hey, let Joey on.
Firstly, I just want to point out that I talk about having a communal wank about Valdez, and then Sheps talks about eating something. So, but anyway, I think I had a look earlier this afternoon. The top 15 of the WBO is not very great, and I don't think there'll be in any particular rush with Valdez, and he's not headlining cards, so he can probably get away with picking some not so good fighters from the top 15. He clearly is extremely good. And I don't think it'll be, he'll have 18 months where he has 3 or 4 gimmies, and then I think they'll really be looking to make him into a headline attraction. He's just really, really fun to watch, isn't he? He goes backwards, he comes forward, he hits with both hands. I thought it was really impressive how the other fella's guard was so high, and Valdez still managed to find gaps, through the middle and around the sides. But don't get me wrong,
Fights incredibly well going backwards, doesn't he? I've noticed that in the last couple of fights. Like he's completely comfortable, sort of circling away from the other guy and still getting off hard shots constantly. Yeah.
Yeah. We should note though that Ruida, or however you say his name, he wasn't great, was he? He was like you see those RGs and they've never left Argentina. And the odd one like Maidana or Matisse, they turn out good, but there are quite a lot of shit fighters that come out of Argentina as well. And I do suspect that we may not see him again.
Was that Cuenca? Was he like 47-0 from Argentina?
Cuenca, yeah, he was.
Then he come over and beat Yang and then lost twice, hasn't he? Since.
Well, yeah, but he did at least win his first fight abroad, didn't he? Like he didn't.
Yeah, but you see how bad Yang is. We all saw how bad Yang is.
He almost got stopped in the first round, that Rueda. He was absolutely awful. I think they were Barry Jones was like laughing at him on the broadcast because he was saying he stood straight up with his chin in the air and then threw an uppercut from about 2 meters away and then got knocked out. And he was.
I like what he did though. I'm quite sure he grew his eyebrows because they're the thickest eyebrows I've ever seen to help cushion the punches.
The WBO though, you look through the rankings at every single weight class and they're an embarrassment. Like they just put any old shite in there. So Hopefully he has some fucking unifications, because if it's WBO, he's just going to beat everyone easily, out of all them guys.
Could you see him maybe getting stuck in a fight against Walters or someone like that? I don't know.
Walters is moving up.
Has he gone up again, Walters?
Well, after
He's
the
going
fight,
to 130, wasn't he?
fucking Max Kellerman after the fight was banging on about wanting a revenge rematch against Lomachenko, because Lomachenko beat him in the amateurs.
Yeah.
And Valdez basically said, "Oh, that was in the amateurs. You know, this is a professional game."
Have you watched the fight, Alex?
I've not seen the actual.
He absolutely schooled him.
I'm not surprised.
He beat him 16-1, I think. So it went I know it's a different sport, but you still 16-1's a bit. It's a long.
I know we're all wanking over Valdez at the moment, but Lomachenko would beat him again handily, I think, at this stage. But he's very clearly, I think, improving as a fighter. He's been being handed these relatively easy fights, but you can see that the talent's there and it's developing, and he's still quite young, I think.
I think they've stepped him up perfectly in the last 18 months. I thought the Avalos fight was perfect, and he's been given guys that he was expected to knock out in the first half of the fight, and he's knocked all of them out. And even a guy like Gradovich, I know he's way past his best, and I know Selby obviously stopped him and stuff, but Valdez, they were sort of. I remember that fight wasn't actually that nice to watch, because after about 2 rounds, sort of in the corner to think about stopping this. And if you're getting a guy in that situation after 2 or 3 rounds, you must be doing.
Moving forward, fellas, Joe Diaz is, or whatever they call him, Jojo Diaz, the American featherweight, is in the same division as well. I think that would do massive business over there when the time's right.
Yeah, maybe give it a couple of years, I think. Yeah, they're quite high on Diaz, aren't they? He's headlining a card this weekend, I think.
You don't rate Diaz, do you, Shep? I remember you saying before you think he's a bit of a hype job.
I don't think he's... I would heavily favour Valdez to beat him, put it that way.
I think he's quite popular, though, and he got quite a big fan base, which is weird for American fighters, like a local fan base. Don't know where
Diaz, I think he has a lot apart from a big punch, really. You saw when he beat Jason Velez. He hit him with quite meaty shots, but there was just not a lot.
I'm not high on Diaz at all.
He throws a lot, but he can't punch. I hate fighters like that. It's so boring. If you can't punch, you shouldn't be allowed to turn pro, I don't think.
I don't know whether you're being serious or not, Shep, but I actually agree. I don't like watching him box. He's one of these guys that's just going to throw a load of punches, but he's going to take a lot of punches as well. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but he's all action. But there's no fucking end in return. I'll tell you one thing, Oscar Valdez absolutely fucking decapitates him. That's for like, and I tell you, I know people, because they let Selby's last fight, and his last two fights, they're not as high on him anymore. Selby fucking schools like Jojo Diaz. I'm not high on Diaz at all. He is basic, and you're all going about like Frampton's fucking T-Rex arms and all. Jojo Diaz is small as fuck.
He's very short. He looks a bit like Mares. He's about 5'4" or something. He's really, really short. I think I could see a guy like Ronnie Rios as a future Valdez opponent, someone like that. A sort of fringe contender who's, he beat Velez last year, didn't he? He's proven himself to be sort of decent. Maybe NABO level, and I think that might be a good sort of soft first defense for Valdez that he can look good in, because his KO, he looks like he's got some serious power. And I mean, I'd love to see the Gary Russell fight or the Selby fight in the future, but I don't know whether those will be able to get made or not.
Right, cool.
He's only 25. I can't see him making those fights for a little while. I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they went Ryan Walsh is in the top 15. If they went with someone like that, someone who's got high numbers on their record. Not massive puncher, obviously going to lose. I think they might have a few more of those fights before they go in deep.
Yeah, I think there's plenty more he can learn, isn't there, before they put him in the big fights. Yeah.
No. But see, the thing is, though, we fucking give other people grief for this. Oh, you win a title, then you're still developing. No, you've got a belt, so start fighting the top guys.
I agree, Ryan. I just don't think that's going to happen.
There's enough talent at 126 for him to be fighting someone decent.
Aye. I think it's fucking Wales boxing that keeps fucking us up.
Are we missing a fight off that card? I feel like there's one we've missed.
No,
the Ramirez fight was cancelled, wasn't it? I'm going mad over here.
No.
Sorry.
Murat.
Yeah, Murat knocked out Comanche Boy in a round, which is a shame, because He was one of my favourites from Friday Night Fights back in the day.
How did you say his name?
Tahudinapa.
Did your bird tell you that, aye?
No, it's
Does your wife know Ik Yang?
He's from China. It's actually the part of China he's from is very close to Korea, actually.
And what about they're all the same, and they know.
They work in the hippie, mate.
They work in the same restaurant, yes, Alex.
Did your woman used to work in fucking a night factory?
Brian, the chat wants to know your Kenny Anderson story that you promised.
I don't know. Andy Patterson will not fucking tell me. I will, Alex, ask him about that. Also, Leon's got a story about Anthony Joshua that he's fucking not telling me either. So we'll try and get it on. Right, we're going to move on because we're just over an hour, right? But I'm going to try and fucking blast through something. That's just so we can maybe try to go into a pound for pound list so we can argue like fuck.
We've got some good questions as well this week.
Questions,
right.
go.
No. Right, Friday night, and if people, I've all of a sudden got some sort of fucking morality level on me, and Adonis Stevenson's fighting, and I vowed to never ever fucking watch one of his fights again because ignorance that I'm up. I never ever knew the right story of Floyd Mayweather, what his real history was. I've never known it, but I always thought that people just exaggerated his story, what he'd done, and he only fucking smashed one bird who was his ex-bird, and then I read the full story at the weekend. It's fucking horrendous, right? Floyd Mayweather's a scumbag. So I went on and googled Adonis Stevenson and read one of the fucking stories that is absolutely harrowing as fuck. This man is a fucking monster. I don't know how he is allowed to fight again. I don't know how MD is prepared to actually go and pay money to watch this guy fucking fight and support us. No, everybody's all like, you're allowed a second chance. Not with people like this. This guy is a fucking scumbag. And this is one person I don't think MD, but when I turn around and say I hope they die, and you're like, oh, you can't say that, it's no nice. I don't think there's MD in this fucking planet that wouldn't want to see this man fucking dead. I mean, see when like Bello used to turn around and say, you're a fucking pimp. I used to laugh, just think, like, see when somebody calls you a pimp, the first thing you think he's like that guy for the fucking wrestling, and you think, oh, cool as fuck, no, I've got loads of slags on about you. This guy fucking, like, I don't want to really get into everything. This guy held women hostage, right, threatened to sodomise them with a knife, unless they fucking let him have sex with them and all that, bad fuck out them and all that. Like, these people, some of them are 17-year-old. He's absolutely fucking horrible human being. He's fighting Thomas Williams Jr. at the weekend. Thomas Williams Jr. blocked me a couple of months ago, surprise, because he was trying to slag a boxer, so I took a picture of his resume where he got knocked. Who was it he got stopped with? Was it Capensi or something?
Campillo. He quit.
Campillo. I was like, you've got a fucking cheek to slag Andy when you lost to this guy. Blocked, right? I will be supporting Thomas Williams Jr. 100%. I don't even want to see the Kovalev fight anymore. I just want to see this fucking out of boxing. This guy should never be earning a living the way he is, be doing what he does for what he fucking done. And the fact that they couldn't prove like some of the charges, so he only got a few years, neither here nor there. It's fucking scum. The fact that Canadian authorities tried to cover this up as well, you're horrible bastards. No wonder they couldn't take you seriously. In America, I think you're pussy bastards. The only good thing to come out of it is fucking, like, what is that, syrup? I hope you fucking die, Adonis Stevenson. You're filthy as fuck. Before MD turns around and says, but all you do is talk about nonsense, but I'm a good nonsense. I don't fucking force myself on MD that doesn't want it. Elder Alvarez is fighting on the undercard. This is a fight we should have been getting. Alvarez is supposed to be fighting Stevenson after this.
Has he got an opponent? Because Dawson pulled out, didn't he?
Robert Berdrich.
Oh, press passes on the video chat. Oh, he's gone off now. Oh.
So I know people think I'm a fucking, like, I can be a pure cunt at times and all that, but that's Adonis Stevenson thing. I'm infuriated with it. It is, I just think it's fucking vile. So I hope he fucking dies in the ring or something like that. No, I don't want him to die. I want him to have a Jared McClellan. That's what I want him to have.
The one silver lining with Stevenson is that, like, a guy like Kovalev, who will fight anyone, when he loses, it will be to a guy like Ward, you know, like a proper elite fighter. There'll be no shame in the loss. Stevenson eventually will get beaten by someone who's shite, and that will be amazing, because that will be the day when, you know, when all of his chickens come home to roost. And, you know, a guy like Williams, if he catches him, you never know. I mean, Williams really isn't very good, but
Stevenson is the sort of guy he'll lose to a person that he'll have a fucking, maybe a rematch or a trilogy with, a fucking right good fighter. If Stevenson is yourself fight, if it lose to a Darnell Boom who's already lost to.
If he beats Williams, he will fight that Joe Smith guy who knocked out Fonfara. I'm sure of it. He won't go anywhere near Beterbiev. He won't go anywhere near, even a guy like Alvarez.
No.
And he's been delaying that fight for like a year. Yeah, he's pathetic, but eventually he will lose to someone truly embarrassing.
I know Joey's on here and like he hates Behelu, but I kind of feel guilty now that I actually fucking cheered like Stevenson like beating him. I know we all fucking hated Behelu at that point, but now in hindsight, that is what it is, isn't it? That is what it is. Tony's fucking wanting the next big pod. Woo! Fuck you, Tony. Right, on to the main event. The card in fucking Brooklyn. Oh fuck man, there's a fucking Leeds card, I forgot about that.
Are we doing previews now? Okay.
I just want to kind of fucking scoot through these previews so we can go into a couple of daft things at the end, right? Brooklyn, New York, Leo Santa Cruz via Carl Frampton. Come on, the Irish! Come on! Up the rack. Sergey Rabchenko, who really shouldn't have a loss. He get robbed off him Mundine. He's fighting Tony Harrison. Mikey Garcia comes back. Shep's fucking favourite. He loves him. Elio Rojas, who I don't even know who that is. Paulie the Magic Man. Fucking every cunt's juicing apart from him. Malinaji. He's fighting Gabriel Bracero. I don't even know who that is. Sounds shite. The fight that I really look forward to, right, and call me hipster all you want, but we've seen the shit on Twitter. Ivan Redkach versus Tevin Farmer. This could be a fucking good one because we know Redkach is Eastern European. We now know he's racist, and we always known the Farmer's black. So that's going to fucking spark it. We seen what he tweeted at the weekend. Ridiculous.
Do you know what, Brian? Sorry, you've just reminded me there with the Paulie fight. Gabriel Bracero, the guy Paulie is fighting, is basically he's sort of a journeyman. Maybe national level fighter, but not much more. But he's the guy. Do you remember last year he fought Danny O'Connor and it was the knockout of the year?
Oh, is that him?
It's him. So there might be a bit of value in Paulie. That's
not too bad.
Yeah, well, he's but that's the thing. He's not really a puncher. But do you remember that the Irish guy was wearing the green and white striped shorts, and he got absolutely. Someone post it in the chat if they haven't got it. But it was the knockout of the year for 2015. So you never know. Paulie could be in a bit of trouble. But yeah, it's fair. I mean, he's not really a puncher, but he did seem to. He absolutely destroyed this guy last time.
Was it? What's the fight?
The fight was Bracero against Danny O'Connor from 2015. You'll
recognize the Celtic shorts.
He was wearing white and green striped shorts, and it was a unbelievable one.
Not white and green stripes, it's white and green hooks, yeah, dick.
The guy didn't get up for about like 10 minutes afterwards. It was an amazing punch.
Do you know how much of this card's going to be covered? Because a lot of the time with the PVC, they only show 2 fights.
No, but this will be on like Box Nation, so for all we know, fucking Buncey will have he'll be on for fucking 5 at night, man. We'll be sitting watching about 40.
I know, but sometimes Buncey takes the piss now and says that they can't get the stream until it's on live there, and then he's talking for 4 hours of the coverage.
I don't know, but Danny Jacob was meant to be on here at TBA, but I don't think he's on. I think that's now scrapped because he's going to fight Sergio Mora, right?
Right, I just posted that KO. You can probably watch it and put it on like screen share and show it to people.
Oh yeah, do that.
I just posted it in the chat there. That Bracero fucking knockout.
It's only like a minute long, isn't it, Alex? So yeah.
It's a good card, isn't it? Really, for a PBC.
It's like there's like a fight or two. Like, I mean, like we'll just kind of fucking like the Redkach Farmer fight for obvious reasons, right? Malinaji's against somebody we don't really know. Like Mikey Garcia's just got a tune-up fight. I'm happy to see Mikey Garcia back. I'll give him a pass like I gave Ward a pass for Fat Smig. Well, I didn't give him a pass. I was just fucking happy to see Ward back. So, but we all like see Paul Smith get his cunt kicked in, don't we? Am I right? Big fat scouse helmet. Sergey Rabchenko. I think the Rabchenko Tony Harrison fight could be good. Rabchenko's like basic, but I quite like watching him.
I think that's a really, really good fight and a really evenly matched fight. I think I might just favour Harrison to maybe play it safe and outbox him. But I think that's a good fight.
Does Rabchenko not be Mayweather's like fucking mandatory for about 4 years?
Rabchenko fought in the Warsaw Town Hall.
So he did. That's right.
He shut it from Lennox Clark though, so he's come over to Brooklyn.
Is Hatton his trainer still?
No.
All right.
He's his manager though.
Or is he?
Yeah, Hatton won't be there. It's a bit of a weird one with Ramchenko. Even in the corner, it's not really Hatton, it's his assistant who does all the work with him anyway. I don't know who's going to be in his
wasn't there for fucking, what's his
for
face?
Brown.
Yeah, when Brown was juicing.
Hatton's great at tying down fighters for long term and does fuck all with them. Lucas Brown blocked him on Twitter and he still turned up when he got the title shot. Ramchenko, he hasn't talked about him since he fucking lost his fight and now he's back on the scene again.
Probably takes his 20% and then fucks off, basically.
Well, see that Walsall Town Hall?
Yes.
Have you ever poked off Chloe?
Do you know what? For a fraction of a second, I thought he was going to ask a serious question here. I thought, no, of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't.
We've seen the video of her in a ring girl outfit, Paul. We know what's going on.
Yeah, she retired. She retired undefeated, like Floyd.
You look as if you go nasty mouth, Paul. Don't kid on your all quiet note. You're a nasty mouth, man, aren't you? Fucking know it. Right, we've got the main card here. We've got fucking Mark McFarlane for IRA boxing.
Sorry, Brian. Before we get to the main event, what is the co-main for the card?
It says Mikey Garcia, but.
Oh, he's chief support, is he? Oh, right. Okay.
I think it'll be Rabchenko.
That's a good fight.
It says Rabchenko, Tony Harrison, but you don't know. It said Brooklyn, so it's going to be Paulie Malignaggi, surely.
No, that Garcia fight's a good fight. I mean, Rojas went distance with Gonzalez.
Just shows you how good Mikey is, that he can come back after almost 3 years off and take this level of opponent. Yeah, Rojas he's no mug. He's all right, you know.
I mean, in terms of televised, I can't see them televising Malignaggi. I don't know how long the show is going to be, but I can't think it'll be hours and hours. I think you're going to get Mikey Garcia. I think you're obviously going to get Frampton. In terms of the rest of it, it just depends on what Danny Jacobs is or isn't doing.
I don't know if Danny Jacobs is going to be on this though.
When it was originally done, Danny Jacobs was supposed to fight Andy Lee. Andy Lee signed up his end, and Danny Jacobs fucked it all over. That is genuinely what happened. It was done and all. Well, that's what they were saying. When it was first signed, when Crawford told me about the Leo Santa Cruz fight, it was all about Danny Jacobs against Andy Lee supposed to be on it as well. Two of them going together. It's a shame it got messed up because that would have been I don't know which way it would have worked, but it would have been a great fight.
Wasn't Jacobs meant to be main event, Mark? That's what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be Jacobs Lee main event.
They probably would have worked out as main event, but well, no, they wouldn't because Leo Santa Cruz is supposedly Heyman's favourite fighter in this whole stable. So I'd say Leo would always be. Don't worry, I'm not going to say Carl. If Heyman looks after Leo Santa Cruz more than anybody else.
Well, Leo named his son after him, didn't he?
Well, he did, but he's supposed to be Heyman is supposed to be actually very close to him.
Heyman. So what are we insinuating here that Al Heyman has nonced Leo Santa Cruz? Is this what we've already we've been directly on
That's
towards?
Literally, yeah. That's literally, yeah. And
it's everywhere. It is fucking inside every aspect of boxing these days. Jimmy Savile at right top.
Jimmy Savile from the. That made me laugh. That really was funny.
Right, so Leo Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton. You obviously know who I'm going to pick. I'm obviously a bit biased, but at the same time, I've never rated Leo Santa Cruz. I feel as if I never, at any point, when it came to fucking Leo Santa Cruz at 122, that I thought it was going to be this harder fight that people are now making out at 126. Leo Santa Cruz obviously probably enjoys that weight better because when we seen him in Vegas, he was a top skinny cunt. There was absolutely nothing on him. Absolutely nothing on him at all. But I've seen Frampton at weigh-in day, and I says to Mark, see, because I'm always working, I never ever get to go to weigh-ins. So I was surprised how fucking terrible somebody looked at weigh-in, and they're all like to me, oh, that's just normal, that's just what boxers look at. He looked fucking awful. He looked a lot better when he was fighting. I've lost that. Maybe he done the weight a bit different, but I think going up to 126, as much as I said earlier on, height-wise, he's not a featherweight, but I think bulk-wise he is because he's really is a fucking stocky wee guy. For me, Leo Santa Cruz throws punches and bunches. He's one of these kind of guys who just going to constantly throw punches, but I don't particularly think he's a great boxer. I know he boxed a bit better against Mares, but I think by the time he started boxing, Mares had just given up. He'd lost so many rounds, it just looked as if he was just there to fucking go to the points. I feel as if Carl's a far better counter puncher, and this is what he's done. What I noticed before, people say that because of Quigg's length that he'll struggle with him because he's a short arms or not. No, Cal, see if you look at every one of Cal's fights, he out jabs the boxers, even as a shorter guy. Gonzalez, I think is that the name of the boy for like, America? He out jabbed him, and we're not saying this guy's great and all that, but he was as long as fuck, and you'd have thought Cal would have totally struggled if he was just going to use his jab. Cal was the one that was getting inside his jab and fucking jabbing him back himself. I really do think that this could be a tight fight, but it's all going to kind of come down to like how good Cal boxes or like counter punching, and he's going to need like Leo Santa Cruz to come at him. I think the styles will clash because Frampton wants somebody to come at him, and that's tailor made for like Cal. It's just I really do think this is a fucking fight that's going to gel well. Could be fight of the year. Oh, fucking take me out. I'm fucking Jim Lampley hype job. Nick Holland, come on.
We have to see how Carl's the power is going to be now. Like, it's been, for the last 2 years, like, you can make Super Bantam. You can still make Super Bantam, but you'd have to do nearly a 4-month training camp. And while he can make the weight, the last week of it, he loses the power. Like, he'd just be sparring welterweights, and he'd just be doing very well. He's very powerful in that. But in the final week, when he's dropping the last few pounds, he just loses the proper strength that he does have. And he's been like that for a while. Like, for the last 2 years, he really has struggled just on the last few pounds. And then the IBF weight check, this is the first time since 2013 he's not been able to, won't have to do an IBF weight check. If the extra 4 pounds not have to do that, it's going to be a big factor for him. He outgrew the weight at Super Bantam. Now, that's why I'm really confident about this fight. It's going to be a big difference to him going up and all that. The last time he didn't have to do the IBF weight check and he was going a bit easier was 2014 when he fought Cazares. Whatever anyone says about Cazares, that's the last time he knocked the man out with one punch. Like, he put him down and he's really done some power damage. Like, Avalossi hit him with accumulation of punches, then he stopped him. But that IBF weight check takes a lot out of people. Even Scott Quigg wasn't ready for it, and it did hurt him as well. So everybody was going on that. He fucked it up badly. He really done it wrong, but he should have known how to do it. It's his own fault. But that's why it's going to be a very different car for Frampton on Saturday night. And I do think to get a points win, it's going to be very difficult because of it's Haim's favourite fighter. He's the home. Leo Santa Cruz is going to be the home favourite. It's going to be down to how does Carl carry the power that he had over probably since Kiko Martinez, since the knockout. Does he bring that power back when he gets up to featherweight? Like, you do see the difference when people go to the weight of more of a natural weight, the power will come back. So it's going to be about that. It's going to be a great fight, and I do think he can outbox him. I've seen press pass saying, like, I don't mind people saying that he could lose in certain other issues, but I don't see how he could be outboxed, like in a proper boxing match by Leo Santa Cruz. And his jab exchange is, as you said a few minutes ago, Brian, it's one of the best jabs he's ever had ever since he was an amateur. He always had that superb jab. And and everybody's going to say, he's got the longer reach. If Carl had an issue with reach, he should never have been a professional boxer. He's fucking stopped growing when he was fucking 14. He hasn't really grown at all. Like, he's always been outreached by bigger men, and his jab has always been superb. He's never sparred anyone less than a welterweight in sparring. He's always had bigger men who are longer reach, and that's his whole camp. So I'm not worried about the reach and stuff like that. It's something he's well used to, and it's going to be a cracker of a fight. Just hoping people are saying, like, don't mind people saying they think Leo Santa Cruz is going to win and stuff like that. Everybody has an opinion, but at least come up with a real proper reason for why you think he's going to win. Okay, Press pass, you said earlier you think he's going to outbox Carl. I genuinely love to see, for instance, where you can give me that fact on that. It's like when Shep said earlier in the chat that he's weak to the body and he's going to get outdone in the jab exchanges. Where?
John Simpson dropped him to the body in sparring.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't know why.
Were you there?
Do you know what? I'm not going to get into the Frampton argument because, and obviously I know both you and Brian obviously think very strongly on it. For some reason, and bear in mind that I really like Carl Frampton and I'd back him against a lot of guys. I don't know why. Even going back to before the Martinez fight was signed. And the talk of when they went to chase Santa Cruz, and obviously they had the problem with the eliminators and everything else, I've always hated the Santa Cruz fight for Frampton. And Santa Cruz is one of those fighters where he's incredibly frustrating. I got absolutely butchered on the asylum for saying that he's the most overpaid fighter in boxing, because what I meant by that was that he's been collecting huge checks against opponents that are either not as good as they were. He's met very few opponents in their peak, and yet he's been able to go chief support on massive shows and earn serious money. However, for all of the nonsense and crap that surrounds Santa Cruz, I do think he's fundamentally a very good fighter. I think a lot of people underrate his boxing skill. I'm not necessarily saying it's difficult to say he's not necessarily a better boxer than Frampton, but at this size and this weight, with the arm, without boxing, that's what I said.
Where's this size difference though? Carl Frampton's going to be bigger than him. Like he's genuinely going to be. They're
Santa Cruz is 3 inches taller.
He's not going to be bigger than him.
Head to head, and you'll see the difference.
Paul.
On a fight night, there'll be a big difference with the size. So he's not going to be bigger than him. He's not going to be stronger than him. He's just going to be a bit taller. But that's like every single fighter he's ever really fought in his whole career, bar Kiko Martinez. Everyone was taller than him. And like Brian, you seeing Leo in person, he's a very slim frame. But I'm not saying that's going to be. Leo's a very good fighter.
I don't know what height Leo is, but I don't even think he's a height of me.
I think, Mark, right, and maybe we're kind of, Paul and I are being more sort of worldly and cynical with it. In terms of winning a decision in New York where, you know, it's on a PBC show and we know that Santa Cruz is the golden boy for them, if Santa Cruz is throwing 50 or 60 power shots around, which is his average, then Frampton will have to somehow make him keep his hands at home to a greater extent than normal in order to be seen to be winning the rounds, if that makes sense.
I don't agree. Yeah. He throws a lot of punches, but that's against static opponents who don't move around. Who, like, obviously he's going to throw that many, but he has to catch him. Like, it's not. Carl's a very good counter puncher. He's going to be well ready for that.
I agree. Yeah, and Frampton's very good at defending.
They went for this fight. This is the fight they wanted. This is the exact fight that McGuigan's and Carl wanted. Straight after.
Did they encounter any obstacles sort of approaching after the quick fight? Because it seemed like this got made with Santa Cruz quite quickly after the quick fight.
The best way to say about it is it was nearly it was agreed before. Like once Carl beat Quigg, it was basically just picking out bits and pieces of venue and stuff like that. But this is who Carl and Barry purposely wanted. Whether that comes back to hunt, but they wanted this fight.
But then, by the same token, Santa Cruz and his team obviously wanted it as well.
But Leo, I think, has wanted a breakout fight. I think he's been matched terribly by Heyman, but I don't think Leo really. I doubt he really wanted that. I'd say he wanted bigger fights, but he was getting $750,000 to fight his ex-sparring partners, and let's be honest, he was going to turn that down. I don't really like shitting on Leo Santa Cruz because I've seen interviews with him, and me and Brian briefly met him in Vegas, and he seems like a really good guy. And I can't wait for the fight. I know there's going to be lots of people picking him to win, and rightly so because he's a good fighter. I just think this is a perfect fight for Carl.
I think my opinion. I think the problem that you're going to have, I think the problem that Frampton will encounter is that he's a very good counter puncher, but I think Santa Cruz is perfectly built to maintain a incredible pace for 12 rounds. I don't know, and I've not seen, and he's not needed to necessarily because of the fights he's been in. I've not seen Frampton, like I suppose a lot of British fighters, we always have the same problem, maintain a certain way for the distance. Against Scott Quigg, and I was there, I mean, through 8 rounds, it wasn't competitive, wasn't remotely competitive. And then when Quigg finally started doing something, it was almost as though Frampton lost rounds because he wasn't dealing with that pressure in the activity. Still won widely in the split decision.
Which rounds? You must be only talking about the 11th round, because everybody talks about that was the only round really. Quigg made an effort and he caught one punch. Fucking Nick Halen threw he shared a warning signal to his fucking corner, but then he came out and won the last round. Like there was nothing really there. Like the Quigg fight was more. That was always going to be like that. You was never going to fight Quigg any differently. Like
it was, but
it's like everybody talking about what's his name, Terence Crawford. The modern day fighter, we don't have killers anymore. No one goes out for the kill. It's just the way it is. Modern boxing now is do what you need to do to win and walk away safe. That's what they all do. It's not what everyone wants to see. There's an example like Golovkin, who is a killer when he wants to be, but when he fought David Lemieux, he stopped doing his usual tactics of taking 2 or 3 punches to get in. He went off his jab. Everybody's picking what way to win a fight, and that's all they do. They learned it from Floyd. Floyd learned that hit and don't be hit. And Carl knew going into that fight against Scott Quick, all I have to do is move around the ring, throw me jab. He will not know what to do. He's never been trained to fight any differently. And I just thought, like, I think when you see Carl now in this fight, it's gonna be. I think he knows exactly what I've talked to him about, and I've heard. I just think it's a perfect fight for him. Everybody's gonna have a different view, and I don't mind that. But it's spot on for him. It's just unfortunate these days the way you're saying that everybody is holding back and all that. It's just a modern day boxer. We just don't have killers.
Right, let me bring a couple of other people in. Alex, Dewey, fucking Carl, and Sam. You have no spoke for a while, so.
Well, this is really a conversation between the two extremist camps, really, isn't it? I mean, Mark is obviously very deeply ingrained with the Frampton camp.
And Shep and fucking Paul's a pair of pricks.
They're anti-Irish, aren't they?
We've got Mexican heritage, Paul and I.
Yeah, they hate the Irish and want to bomb Ireland and fuck them.
Mark, do you know why Paul hates the Irish?
I mean, see, he's from Birmingham, so how
exactly.
Andy Townsend.
No, he's Irish because IRA bombed somewhere that his mom was next to and she nearly died. But she's still here and he's born, so fucking who lost out to that? Us.
The thing I don't get about this whole situation is before, when this fight was discussed at Super Bantam, I'm pretty sure it was like 75-25. Everyone said Frampton would win, and then now the fight's £4 heavier. And it seems to be the complete flip of that. I'm like, £4 ain't going to make that much of a difference. It might help him a bit, but it don't change the fight that much. No one used to be high on fucking Santa Cruz, and now he's fought Morez and Kiko Martinez at that weight, who were fucking tiny, and now everyone's high on him.
No. People were high on him before he went on this big stretch with Al Heyman of fighting absolute bums. When he was down at bantamweight, who did he fight there? I forgot who he fought. Someone there.
When he was fighting Malinga and Morel and guys like that, 2011, 2012, he had loads of hype, and then he went over to Heyman, didn't he? And then he just fought a load of guys who were being dragged.
Yeah. He was the mini Margarito. Everyone was calling him the mini Margarito because he was a fucking beast.
And the other thing is, like, it's nice that he throws these fucking 10-punch combos. I could throw a 10-punch combo against a fucking midget that's not going to punch me back. He's going to be getting fucking hit back. He's not just going to be flailing away, throwing millions of shots in this fight. His output will be about 60% of what it was against Morris. It will not be.
Are we acting like you're acting like he's some sort of mindless brawler though? He's not. He proved that he wasn't against Abner Morris. He boxed a lot better there than we've probably ever seen him box.
No, but he threw it fucking. I think
Frampton's got
a lot more coming back than what Morris was throwing back in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Morris threw a ton of punches in that fight. He just
I'm on about having something on him. Like I just said, you can punch someone loads and loads of times. If it's not hurting you, you can just fucking throw wild.
Would you like the odds? So Santa Cruz is 8-15 on to win. Frampton's 13-8. But I think
he's 94 on bet
obviously, which I always go with the paddies because I'm pro-Irish.
All right, they give the worst odds.
And yeah, Santa Cruz on points is the favourite method. I think neither the odds for knockout, especially for Frampton, are very high. Same for Santa Cruz is 10-3 to knockout. It's 11-8 for Santa Cruz points or 5-2 for Frampton points. And the fight to go the distance is 4-9. So I think everyone's expecting a real boxing match and not much of a fight. And that's where Mark was absolutely right, where he says about fighters being safety first. I think we're going to see two guys who are going to box. I think Frampton's going to box very safety first, and I think that we're used to seeing Santa Cruz racking up 1,000 punches in 12 rounds. I don't think we'll see that from him.
About 600.
I think we'll see. Yeah, I think we'll see between 600 and 700. Which, for Frampton to win, he needs to really slow Santa Cruz's activity, and he needs to keep him to 50 punches a round. If he can do that, he can absolutely win by boxing on the back foot.
If he can hurt him in the first,
then he won't.
If he can hurt him in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I think that'll be.
Has he ever been hurt? That's the thing. Have we ever seen Kiko's hurt?
Boys, he was hurt again. Well, maybe not hurt, but he was down against Kiko. It just wasn't given. I think he took a left hook on top of the head and he was down. I think
Well,
Carl is
he was going to fucking war with Kiko. It wasn't. He was just fucking.
And it was a bad
forever.
shot. He got straight back up. To be fair, that's like us saying, "Well, Frampton was down against Gonzalez." I don't put too much stock in that because I think those were sort of freaky balance shots more than.
Yeah, I've never seen him like fucked. Like Jesus Christ, he's been buzzed or you're like fucked up. Never seen him.
I agree with you there, and Alex. I just think I think the fight will be the great judge of the fight will be when Carl catches him flush. Because to me, the fight changes, and does Carl's power change? Now he's going up to a weight he's comfortable at, because he has lost his snap over the last 2 years because of the last few pounds. He just has. It happens to a lot of fighters. I know it's like it's a terrible example. Like Bellew had no power at all, light heavy.
I can relate to that, Mark. The amount of weight I've lost, my powers went as well.
I know, like you're on the way for prize fighter, and you can see it. I just think you do lose that bit of snap when you take off it's the last 2 pounds. If you're ever around the boxer and you talk to them, the last 2 pounds, if you were a little bit tight, they do drain you out. And it's, with the IBF weight check then the next day where you can only do 10 pounds, it does you lose something. And I do think the fight for me dictates on can Carl bring that power back. If he can really buzz Leo and push him back when he comes in, because he is going to be waiting for Leo to come in. Like if you watch his sparring, if you watch him doing the pads, he's waiting for the right hook as well to come on over, because Leo's like he's going outside doing this left hook. You can see there's little things on the uppercuts. Leo can be like, I think he's a good boxer, but he is open to be caught on when he's coming in. But it's gonna be everybody's gonna have a view on it. But if Carl can carry the weight, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens, because he needs a couple of knockdowns, I think, to really. Because points, the bookies have it spot on. I do think it will probably go to points.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, let's be real. If we're judging it at home and we think Frampton probably shaded that 7-5, I can't see him getting the decision in a fight like that. Do you know what I mean?
This
is going to be tough in America, but Carl
earlier.
Brook got a points victory.
Exactly.
So did De Gale.
This is my point. People were saying that.
But there with Hearn though, he's the best promoter in the world.
This is what people were saying, that he might get robbed because Leo Santa Cruz has got this attacking style and all this shit. But we're not in Mexico. We're not in California or in Vegas. We're in fucking New York. And in New York, what race is there? There's no fucking Mexicans in New York. There's a fuckload of Irish in New York though, and they're going to be cheering the fuck out of Frampton. I think it's going to be a very pro-Frampton crowd, and there's plenty of Puerto Ricans in New York, and they fucking hate the Mexicans. So I think if there's going to be any sway on the judges, apart from Heyman giving them a brown envelope, it's going to be towards Frampton.
What about the Chinese shit? Who will they support when they're in New York? They're always there taking pictures.
You imagine they'd go towards the old world. I think they'd go with the Irish. They seem to like European culture a bit more than sort of Latino.
That's because the fucking Europeans invaded them for long enough and stole their tea.
The Irish did invade them. Yes, you're right. Mark, can I just go back to what you said a moment ago? I think you made a really good point, which is that we've both got quite different opinions on the fight, and can back them up to an extent, which I think is, like you said, shows that it's a really good fight, because you could take so many conclusions away from it when you look at the numbers and sort of how the guys match up based on past performances. The one that I'm looking at now, Showtime have put this graphic up, and I'm looking at Santa Cruz on average lands. He throws 84 punches around on average. Frampton throws about 60, and I think if Carl is going to reduce that gap, it's either going to require him hurting Santa Cruz early, like you said, or it's going to require him moving a hell of a lot. And I just worry if he moves that much, whether the judges will.
Why can't his timing take punches away from that? Why can't?
Well, that's what I mean, but he's gonna throw like he does that just because he throws it. Kiko Martinez had a better and more better punch stat than Carl for throwing punches. Means nothing. You can hear all that shit all you want. When he gets into the ring, he's got to catch him. Carl's not going to be like Kiko Martinez.
But he lands 40%. Frampton lands 25%.
Yeah, against an Abner Mars who stands there and it shows wants to prove he's a tough bastard. Kiko Martinez, who wants to prove I can fucking just stand there and take punches. That's what you do. Carl's not fucking gonna stand there and go, right, throw your 50 punches. I'm gonna block a few of them, then I'm just gonna let you. He's gonna move around that ring, and when he comes in and throws his first one, he's gonna be waiting to counter him. And then Leo Santa Cruz is gonna be going, right, I can't dive in straight away and do this. I'm gonna be countered. If you're looking at Leo Santa Cruz's punch rate, you have to look at what's gonna be coming back. Carl's timing is going to be spot on.
I agree with you.
He's going to out-jab him. Like, guarantee his jab will push him back. And then when he comes in, there's going to be uppercuts and there's going to be rights coming back at him. And that punch rate could change as it goes on. He will
I agree with you. I think, as Paul said earlier, the sort of test will be. I think Santa Cruz's defense is underrated, and especially his guard. I actually think is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a high guard.
Yeah, and it's not amazing, but it's better than.
You have to lower it.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I think what Paul said earlier was vital. That it will. I think ultimately it will come down to the pace of the fight and who can dictate the pace. And if Frampton could, I've never seen another opponent dictate the pace against Santa Cruz before. He's always been the one to do it. If Frampton can set the pace of the fight, then he's got an incredibly good chance to win. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's whether we believe he will or not. Obviously,
to me, it's going to come down to especially the power of Carl. Does he have that? Does he have a bit of power now? When he goes up, like he's always had a bit, like he clearly has power. He broke fucking Quig's jaw. He's fucking still.
And he's a very clean puncher, isn't he?
About it. Like the power is there, but that was when he was. He's really going to be pulling up his power now, and it could make a huge difference. That's what I'm aiming for in this. That he brings back his power. He has been leaving him for his last few, and if he can carry that up and he can hurt him, then we've got a really big really big chance.
If he lands a few and Santa Cruz doesn't go anywhere and he thinks, okay, maybe I can't hurt him, do you think movement will be enough to get him through?
I do think a boxing match will come in, but he's a boxing brain. He's always had to come up with solutions to get through fights. He's fought on the back foot. He can come forward. He's had like 250 amateur fights. He's been trained well. Like he knows what to do in a boxing ring. He's not going to be thinking, what am I going to do? It's not going to be like the Scott Quigg attitude, head or body punch, and then he hits him and he doesn't go and put him down, and he has to look back to his corner and go, Joe, you've only fucking taught me two things in my fucking whole career. What the fuck do I do now? He's not going to be doing anything like that. He will be able to decide in the ring, this didn't work, we have to go a different strategy. So it's going to be, well, Leo Santa Cruz, like as much as I'm just talking up Carl here, Leo Santa Cruz is going to be able to come up with different ideas as well. I think it's one of our rare, very good matches where, like when he was fighting Quigg, I always said from day one, it's going to be easy. I didn't give him a chance at all. But Leo Santa Cruz is going to be a very good fight, very tough, and he's a tough fucker. I don't think he's like I've never seen him look like
they're both tough, aren't they?
He's not going to quit. That's the thing.
Yeah, I've never seen him look like. I don't think he looks like it's going to have to be an unbelievable shot to take him down. But it will, if he hurts him, it will put him back, and he won't be as brave coming in, throwing all those combinations. But it's all ifs and buts and opinions.
And if it's a good fight, mate, they can do it. They can do a rematch. They can do a trilogy, whatever. Hopefully, we can actually get like a sort of classic rivalry going.
I've just checked as well. You were asking earlier about what fights are going to be on if you're trying to catch a stream. So Showtime are showing 3 fights. They're showing Sergey Rabchenko, Mikey Garcia fight, and obviously the main event. So they're not showing Malignaggi. So I don't know whether the undercard is going to be streamed on the site. Obviously they're not as good as like Top Rank what they do with theirs, but those are the 3 official televised fights.
Paul,
Right.
I think